The past few days it's been Easter, and for a lot of people I think that meant seeing some family. For me as well, I went to see some family, and I have an honest question to you about that. Because when you see your family, do you either shake their hand or do you hug them? And more importantly, why do you do that? Generally, I feel like I'm a warm person. I mean, I approach everyone in the same way, positively, and preferably I would give everyone a big hug and really feel, warm, like expressing that warmth. But the weird thing is that when I'm in a social situation like with family or actually in a group, individually everything is fine when I'm just one-on-one with people, but when I'm in a group, I get very socially weird and I don't feel like myself. And I noticed yesterday that the first thing I do different is that I just wait for other people what they do. Like, do they shake my hand or do they hug me? And I just wait for them to make the first move and then I do that. But my first instinct is to just give everyone a hug because I feel like that's warm, that's normal. I mean, I've traveled a lot, so that's also more what people do in international communities. So for me, shaking hands, it just feels very distant. Even in business, it often feels too distant for me. So I was like, why do I do that? And now I'm, of course, reading the book by Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. I've almost finished it. And it's a lot about, I think, vulnerability. Like, I don't want to make a move that maybe has the outcome, like when I hug someone, maybe that has the outcome that other people don't like to be hugged or it's very socially awkward. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm a bit afraid that I will, make something like a scene that I shouldn't have or make someone feel uncomfortable. But actually, I feel like I should just, take that step, be vulnerable and be myself, and whatever the outcome, at least I had the courage to give a hug instead of a hand. So this is something that from now on I'm gonna just do. I mean, depending on the situation, depending on how I feel like I wanna be myself, I'm just gonna give that hug. All right, this was my video for today. Maybe you think it's a little bit weird, but I think it's really interesting to think about these sort of social interactions that we're having and the extent to which we can feel like we can be ourselves. I really want to feel like myself all the time, and I just know in social group situations, I can't really do that. So it's really important, I think, to be aware of this and to just try and change it. Be more warm, be more like myself. So I'm really curious if you have anything about this handshaking or hugging that you feel is awkward or that you don't dare to do. I'm very curious, and maybe even have some tactics, like how you deal with that. Like, if you don't really dare to hug someone, what do you do then? Do you just give a firm hand, or do you maybe talk about it, or do you say something about it? I'm quite curious. I'm just gonna hug from now on when I feel like it, but maybe you have some ideas about this as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.